Rangers, you'll never be able to defeat me.
I want you to know, this list was so hard to make because I have spent probably 2 weeks just watching Power Rangers theme songs over and over again, having an open Google document and changing it every time I hear one of the themes. I had my sister watch them with me, and she was getting just as frustrated because every time we listened to another one, we would change up our list. And so eventually I just said, you gotta stop, just leave it where it is, and maybe touch on it again in a few years, because there's so many great ones. There's some bad ones. There's some horrendous ones, and we're not going to talk about those today. Now, this list isn't in order of my favorites. I did take into account how other people view some of them. I took into account how well some of them are produced. I also took into account the creativity, the legacy, and how good of a song outside of a theme some of these songs would make. So, here are what I think are the 10 best Power Rangers themes. Don't get me wrong, this is very subjective, so you might disagree with me, and that's fine. I know at least a few of them you will disagree with me on, but it's what music's for. It's subjective. Number 10, Power Rangers Time Force. So this one, as soon as it starts, it gets you pumped. As soon as it does that, you're like, yeah, I'm in it, I'm down, yes! This one's composed by Jeremy Sweet. He did a lot of them. This is one of those that you really just want to sing along with. Easy to learn the lyrics because it's very repetitive, and when it ends, you're a little disappointed. This one is as low as it is, mostly due to the repetition. Towards the end, man, it gets really repetitive. I know a lot of people love this one, but it's number 10 for me. Number 9, Power Rangers Jungle Fury. This one is the one and only theme composed by Lee Roberts, and I think it is the last great theme that Power Rangers has had so far. There might be another one coming soon. I think this season is underrated, and even more, the theme song is underrated. It's got that late 2000s pop punk energy, and it's so much fun. Training hard to be the best that we can. The lyrics are decently diverse. Like, it's not super repetitive like the other ones, but it's just easy to get into, especially when it's stuff like the go away, we're here to save the day. Oh, it's so much fun. I would have listed this one higher personally, but I know a lot of people wouldn't agree with me on that, and I don't know if it deserves that high ranking. I'm a little partial to anything with that pop punk sound. This is one I think could make just a good song on its own if you took out the Power Rangers elements. People are gonna hunt me down for this. They're going to want to hang me. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I know. It is a classic. Everyone knows it. It influenced a lot of theme songs that came after it. But every time I listened through every theme song, I would come back to this one and be like, it's just not as good. It pumps you up, and it's really catchy, but it's also very, very repetitive, especially when you get into the longer versions of it. I am not going to downplay how important this theme song is. It shaped the rest of the series. And it's great. It really is. It's just compared to the ones that are going to come after this, I don't like it as much. Composed by Ron Wasserman. Dude's a smart guy. He composed a lot of really good theme songs. And this is one of them. It's just not higher than others for me. I am so sorry. Number 7. Power Rangers Zeo. So Zeo is composed by Jeremy Sweet, other than the reused sections from the Mighty Morphin theme song. It is, however, sung by Ron Wasserman. I think it takes everything from the Mighty Morphin theme song and makes it better. I think this has some amazing vocals in it. The Stronger Than Before part. You just want to like let your hair down and start headbanging and be like, yeah! Makes you feel like you're at a Slayer concert. Speaking of Slayer, everyone always says Power Rangers has heavy metal themes. And it's like, yeah, it's according to how you define heavy metal. Maybe. This one, I think, has the most metal section in it. When it gets down to that first part after they say Go Go Power Rangers with the double bass. Oh, it's so like almost Pantera-esque. It's so heavy and good. Every time it hits that, I'm like, yeah. I think it could use less of the Mighty Morphin theme song. I think a lot of it is holding it back, but man, I'm not a huge fan of that season, but I think that theme song is one of the best, and it's the best part of Zeo. Stronger than before, go Zeo! Number 6, Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. This one is also composed and sang by Jeremy Sweet. It starts with that epic and then it has that snare hit. And it's so good every time. I just like, it is one of those, when you binge this series, you don't skip the theme song ever. And I'm not saying that as a rule. I'm saying you yourself choose not to because it's such a good theme song. It hits and you're just headbanging the entire time. It is so much fun. The lyrics are not the best. Like those first two verses are really good, and then they ran out of lyrics and just goes to and then after that it's really repetitive, but it's a good repetitive. It's fun. Also, when I went through this with my sister, she said this theme song gets bonus points because the Red Ranger Leo rips his shirt off in the theme song and he's ripped. So it's got that going for it, I guess. Number 5, Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. This one is also composed by Jeremy Sweet, and as you could tell, even when I just said the name Lightspeed Rescue, it is hard to not say it in the rhythm of the song. Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue! Because, it's so catchy and good, and one of the more rocky ones all the way through. It feels like they took 3 different songs and put them together, and they're all good. The signal is calling, our planet is falling. I wish that would have been the entire song, and then they could have used the other sections for a different season for a whole song, because all of this is so good. The Lightspeed Rescue part is just a jam. It's very repetitive, but it's okay because you're singing along with it the entire time and probably fist pumping as well. The ballad is pretty good. It's not entirely necessary, but it's fun. It's a good intro to the theme, which is a very important part of Power Rangers theme songs, if you didn't realize. That first section, the first immediate thing they say is very important because it gets you into it. A good one will make a song great. A bad one could ruin a theme. Number 4, Power Rangers SPD. This one was also composed by Ron Wasserman, so the guy who did the original theme song did SPD. SPD, I think, has the best beginning 11 seconds of a theme song from Power Rangers. Also, has one of the better calls to action, as I like to call them, at the beginning, that SPD emergency! Yes! And then I'm like moshing on the floor. The drums go, they go so hard in this. That moment when it's the ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta and it's switching between the helmets, which is another thing this theme song does right. They did a really good job of making this video go in sync with the beat of the music. As a drummer, I love that kind of thing. When I edit my videos, I try to do that a lot. I'm not nearly as successful as these guys are with it, but man, it's so good. The lyrics in this aren't very repetitive at all. It only returns back to the chorus at the end, and it's only for one section of it. Like, they don't even repeat. It's one of the more varied lyrically theme songs in Power Rangers. Also, you can't talk about this theme song without talking about that guitar solo. That one. Oh, this theme song is so good. I think everyone would agree that this deserves top 5 placement. Before we get to the top 3, I want to go through some honorable mentions. There's so many great theme songs, and I couldn't put them all in the top 10, of course, but I at least have to mention them. Turbo. This theme song is fantastic. A lot of people don't like this season. It holds a soft spot in my heart because I'm a car guy, and I love the sport lamp helmets and Zords. I think it's awesome. When my sister listed it, she put Turbo in her top 3, actually. Wild Force. Also an underrated season, I think, but that theme song is really good. It gets kind of repetitive, and it does feel very Disney-esque, I think. It sounds kind of Disney Channel, but man, it's so good. It really is. It's easy to sing along with. Mystic Force. This, I think, is the most underrated theme song. A lot of people don't like it because it's not one of the rock theme songs. It is very derivative of the Black Eyed Peas and of its time, but I think it's a pretty good bop. It's easy to get into, and it's way better than the rap theme songs that would come after it. Number 3, Ninja Storm. This one is where I think people are probably going to disagree. Personally, Ninja Storm is my favorite theme song. It is very, very pop punky. Other than our number 1, I think it would make the best song outside of a theme. The lyrics and the style of the theme perfectly fit the laid-back feel of this season. It's not very repetitive until the end. The end is pretty repetitive, but I think like the lyrics repeat, but the music is varied enough that you don't really care. It's so good. I'm not a huge fan of that word intro that does kind of slow it down a bit.
Deep in the mountains, secret ninja academies train our future protectors.
Strength like thunder. Ninja Storm is also composed by Jeremy Sweet. Okay, I just want to express this to you. In case you didn't know, Jeremy Sweet is the guy that sang Rock the Dragon from Dragon Ball Z. He also sang Lost Galaxy, Ninja Storm, Lightspeed Rescue, and backup on a lot of them. He has been around for a while, and he made some of the best themes. Number 2, Power Rangers in Space. This one's also composed by Ron Wasserman. Dude doesn't miss any of them. So good. This song probably has the best beginning. That countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh. As soon as you hear it, you're like, yes, Power Rangers is on. This is one you have to sing along with every time. I just finished binging In Space again. Man, I never skipped it a single time, even when this theme gets really long towards the end, because this is one of those seasons where as they add characters and more story beats, they just extend the theme song to represent those at the beginning. So when you start the season, this theme song is like 30 seconds long, and by the end, I think it's a minute 10. You never get tired of it. Number 1, Power Rangers Dino Thunder. That theme song is the most unique because it is rock, but it has such a unique sound to it. The vocals in this are so well done. You can hear the passion in the guy singing. This is the only theme song composed by Bruce Lynch. Knocked it out of the park on this one. This one, I think, has the best chance of being its own song outside of Power Rangers. You take out the words Power Rangers from it, and it's a good rock song. My sister and I both put this as number 1. The coolest intro. I said SPD has the best intro. This is the coolest. That moment when he says there's a light in the distance and it's the 3 Power Rangers coming up like badasses towards the camera. Oh, it's so cool. I think quality, production, lyrics, originality. This song is on top when you take all of those together. It's so good.
See them coming closer with the force of ages, centuries gone by.
So that is my top 10 at the moment. I'm sure next time I hear a theme song from Power Rangers, I'll add one or maybe put one higher on the list. I don't know. It changes every time. Seriously, go watch the compilation that Power Rangers has on their YouTube channel of all of the different theme songs. I'm telling you, it's really hard to figure out which one's the best. Feel free to tell me what your favorite one is and why. Tell me why I'm wrong about Ninja Storm being the 3rd best. Tell me why Mighty Morphin should not be anywhere below the top spot. Go listen to some of those theme songs, man. They're so good.